Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on, man? Welcome back. I wanted to make a quick video over Unit 8.1, and I hope this helps. Let's get started. All right, let's see here. Adding and subtracting rational expressions. We got this warm-up right here, man. We'll cover that in class. So it's just adding and subtracting. Remember, when you add and subtract fractions, you have to have common denominators. This one already has common denominators. All right, so you just add the numerator at the top, man. That's going to be 9 over 5. Over here, you need to get common denominators. Well, you would find the least common multiple. All right, the greatest common denominator. So with doing that, you have 11 over 12 and negative 3 over 8. Well, the common denominator that they have would be 24. So to turn 12 into 24, I would multiply by 2 at the top and bottom, so that'll give me 22 over 24. And then right here, we have this 8. We'll multiply that by 3 at the top and bottom. That becomes 24. And 3 times 3 is 9. So I have 22 minus 9. All right, and that's going to be 13 over 24. All right. So now, the least common multiple. All right. Basically, guys, what you do is you find the things that they have in common. All right. So let's look at the numbers first. All right. You got 4. All right. I'm gonna factor 4. That's 2 times 2. All right. You have 6. That's 2 times 3. All right. And then right here we have x squared, y cubed. Right here I have x to the 4th, y to the 5th. All right, for the least common multiple. All right, what we're gonna do is, all right, so when we look right here, well, 4 and 6, they're gonna have 12. All right, so 12 is going to be the least common multiple that 4 and 6 have in common. And then you're gonna take the largest exponent. All right, so when you look at the variable right here, you have x to the 4th, x cubed. The largest is going to be x to the 4th. And then you have y cubed, y to the 5th, where the largest is y to the 5th. This right here is your least common multiple. All right, least common multiple. Right here, you will need to factor both of these trinomials. All right, when you factor this first one right here, you have, well, here, let me make this a little bigger. Oops. There we go. So I factor this, you have x minus 3 and x plus 1. And right here you have x minus 3 and x plus 2. So now the least common multiples, well, they have this in common. So of course that's a part of my solution. And then you have an x plus 1. And you have x plus 2. Basically, guys, your least common multiple is like finding your greatest common denominator. All right, that's what we're doing basically. All right, so you figure out what would be the greatest common denominator or the least common multiple. This is it right here. All right. Oops. All right. So now we have. Let's see here. For this example here, we got to factor it. Again, when you factor right here, you have x minus 7, and you have 2x plus 3. And then over here, you have x minus 7, and you have 3x plus 5, okay? So now they have x minus 7, because remember, it's common. They have x minus 7 in common. And then you also got to have the stuff that it doesn't have in common. All right, here's our least common multiple right here. All right. Now, all right. Now, let's look at the rest of these. This one here, notice we already have common denominators. Oh, by the way, add or subtract. Identify any x values to which this expression is undefined, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and add this since we have common denominators, okay? So when you add this at the top, you're going to add like terms, okay? So you have x minus 3 plus x minus 2 all over x plus 4, all right? So now at the top here, we just add like terms. We have x plus x, that's 2x. And we have negative 3 minus 2, or negative 3 plus negative 2, that's negative 5. And you have that all over x plus 4, okay, like that. Now that we have our one rationale, we can figure out when it's undefined. All right, remember, take your denominator. So now you go to 0 and solve it. X cannot be negative 4. Here's where it's undefined, okay? So here's our rationale, and here's where it's undefined or discontinuous. All right. Over here, number 5. Number 5, all right. Well, first of all, we need to simplify the denominator by factoring it so we can get common denominators. All right, doing so, we're going to factor this, and when we factor that, we get x plus 4 and x minus 1. And over here, we have 2x over x plus 4. Now, what we're going to do is, again, before we figure out where it's undefined, we're going to go ahead and let's get common denominators. Well, if you look, just like we did with the least common multiple, it already has an x plus 4. We need to add x minus 1 to the denominator and the top so we can get common denominators. So now we go ahead and simplify this. So you have x minus 3 plus distribute the 2x, so that's 2x squared, and that gives you negative 2x. All right, so now what we got to do is combine like terms up here. So we have 2x squared. All right, right here we have x minus 2x, so that's going to be a negative x. And then you have negative 3. All right, all over x plus 4, x minus 1. All right, so now remember on the test, man, you can see it like this. You know, we have a multiple choice section, or when you take the county assessment, you can see it like this, or you can see this numerator factored. All right, the numerator could be factored. All right, oops, that should be a 1. X minus 1. If I factor the numerator, guys, that'll give me 2x minus 3 and x plus 1. All right, so either one of those are acceptable, okay? All right, and now finally, number 6 here. Again, factor these denominators so I can get common terms. All right, because I want to have the greatest common factor. It's doing the same thing as the least common multiple like we did above. All right, so there's a difference of 2 squares, so x plus 3, x minus 3. And then right here, we have x plus 3 and x minus 3. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's just x plus 3. So now when you look at it, you need x minus 3 in this denominator. All right. So we can have common denominators, okay? So now, what we're gonna do is, we know what the denominator is, so we have 2x squared minus 30. And then right here, we need to FOIL this. Don't forget this negative here. But I'm gonna FOIL this, so x times x is x squared. 5 times, x times negative 3 is negative 3x. 5 times x is 5x. So right there, that's going to give us 2x. So plus 2x. And then 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. All right. All over x plus 3. X minus 3. Now, distribute your negative. So when you distribute the negative, you have 2x squared minus 30 minus x squared minus 2x plus 15. All right. All right. Now, combine like terms. I have 2x squared minus x squared. That's going to be x squared. Then I have negative 2x is the only term. And then you have negative 30 plus 15 is negative 15. All over x plus 3. X minus 3. All right. And then let's go ahead and simplify this right here. You have x, let's see, x plus 3, x minus 5, all over x plus 3, x minus 3. And then what can we cancel out, guys? In this case, we can cancel out this. So the final answer is going to be x minus 5, all over x minus 3. All right, but we still got to identify where this thing is undefined. X minus 5, x minus 3. There we go. So when you define where's undefined, well, if you take this x minus 3, say not equal to 0 and solve it, x cannot be equal to 3. All right, so there's your final answer on this one. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Let's go back one. I didn't write down the final answer. Actually, I'm going to do it. Let me go back. All right, I went back to number 5. I didn't tell you where this was undefined. So in this one, we have two denominators. All right, you have x plus 4. All right, and you get x cannot be equal to negative 4. And then you have x minus 1 not equal to 0. And when you solve that, you get x is not equal to 1. So negative 4 and 1. All right, so final answer right there, you know. Now, there is these U tries, man. All right, you give those U tries a try, and then, yeah. But anyway, man, that's a short video, man. I'm looking at about 13 minutes. So, hey, man, I hope this helps you, and catch you later.